Welcome to another episode of the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. I'm Rich Liebig.
And I'm Michael Costanzo.
And we're here to give you industry tidbits in the world of sports, entertainment, and odd news from the past week. It feels good. I was in Dallas last week. We had to do the Crispy Compact Communique, the mobile version of our show last week. So it feels good to be back home in Philly, back in person to do the podcast with Mikey. How are you doing, my friend? What's you're very much in the Christmas spirit.
I'm very Christmassy right now. This is the podcast before the big day.
That's right.
We can tell which one of us has the Christmas cheer and which one of us doesn't.
Yeah, you're loaded with
I got my Chicago winter
You got
sweater
everything
on.
going.
I got my Santa hat, which will probably come off at some point. I got these very precariously placed reindeer antlers. Another reason to check out the video version of the podcast.
Yeah, so you get to see what we're
see all this,
what we're dressed up as.
But other than me being decked out, deck the halls. I've been pretty good. Just, I got all the Christmas stuff done, which I'm happy about. So now this week I can just kind of like coast into the season finale of the year. And
that's a good way to put this.
I'm like, look, man, we had the climax.
This is the season finale.
This is the season finale. This is the the come down over here. I'm trying to like coast out the rest of the year.
This year has been so crazy and just so dramatic that that is an appropriate way to phrase this.
Yeah.
This is the season finale of the year.
Yeah, right? Exactly. Or rather, this is the Christmas special after the season finale, because the season finale, all the crazy stuff happens. This is now like the fun, like everybody's like singing and dancing, and there's no stakes involved.
Okay.
That's what I feel like right now. But I'm doing pretty good.
All right.
How have you been? You were in Dallas.
Yeah, I was in Dallas.
That's the bigger news.
Week.
I stayed here. I did nothing. I like made cookies and bread for like a gathering we had with some friends. But like my week was pretty typical. You were out and about.
Yep.
People saw you in Dallas in the Crispy Compact Communique. But
yeah, I'm kind of disappointed. Dallas doesn't have like a doesn't have like a skyline, like a legend, like a iconic skyline. Like Philly has a skyline.
Right. Exactly.
Like we've got certain buildings that you can see. They're
recognizable.
Right.
And you can see, and it makes like a nice little like vista.
Yeah. Dallas didn't really have one, and I was kind of bummed out when I was in the hotel room. Because I was like, I'll get a shot of me behind Dallas, but like,
it's just nothing.
It was just like corporate buildings. There's nothing really
Was it the area of Dallas you were in? Like maybe is there a skyline somewhere else?
So it might have been partly that because I was there on a work trip, so naturally we were in like the corporate section of southern Dallas.
Right.
So that probably was the reason why, but at the same time, I'm still just like, I don't know.
You're a little disappointed.
There wasn't anything that like, there's no building that makes you scream, oh, that's Dallas.
Right.
At least not that I know of. Like off the top of my head.
Like you go to Philly and there's like landmarks, that you can kind of see. And like Chicago, I'm wearing the shirt here. They're known for their skyline, all their skyscrapers and stuff.
Yeah.
You got like the Willis Tower and all this great like Art Deco stuff, but Dallas, they just have nothing from what you're saying.
I mean,
it's just like bland, gray corporate office buildings.
I mean, at least from where I was in my hotel room, because I was trying to get some sort of angle in the streaming, because I had to stream. That was also, by the way, like the first time since COVID that like I had to rework like Zoom and like everything, like I was not on my personal laptop. I was on my work laptop, and like I couldn't figure out like how to get my Zoom call into you. It's been a while since I was on Zoom.
Yeah.
Zoom. So it was, I dialed into you and we had the stream going, and it was good to talk to you though. It brought a familiar face because I was a stranger in a foreign land.
And being trapped there with all those Dallas fans, and you had a nasty run-in with a cheesesteak, I hear. Dallas.
I didn't know you want to talk. Oh, I should have brought.
You should have brought. I should have told you to bring the picture. I thought you were just going to bring it up.
No, I didn't. No, because
it was such an abomination.
It's an abomination that
he's already erased it from his mind.
It shouldn't even be a record in the human history.
Wow.
Course of life.
Damn, that's intense.
Yeah. There's allegedly a place in Dallas that sells cheesesteaks, which was an abomination. First off, it said like "Go Cowboys," which that shouldn't even be anywhere close to a Philly cheesesteak.
At that point, they're just trying to piss people off.
Yeah, and it said like stuff like the true cheesesteak, home of the true cheesesteak. Like, okay, yeah, sure, yeah. And then I saw the cheesesteak come out, and it was an abomination. That was a sin against God, Jesus, and all of humanity.
God and Jesus. Wow.
Yes, and the Holy Spirit. Make it the whole. It's an affront to all three.
Wow. I mean, you described it to me. It did not sound.
No.
It did not. So here's the thing. Like, it sounds like a sandwich, but not a cheesesteak.
The cheesesteak that they had, the Dallas Cowboy cheesesteak that they had, was jalapenos on it, pepper jack cheese, which that just sounds gross to me. That's a horrible cheese to put on a sandwich. Like, that's like, I don't know. That's like you're trying to make
my thing is it's already got too many peppers on it. You've got pepper in the cheese, jalapeno peppers. You said it came with extra peppers, like a pepper on the side.
Yeah, it came with a fried poblano pepper on the side.
Why so many peppers?
I guess that's Tex-Mex, like that influence. But like, that's not a cheesesteak.
Right.
Don't call it a cheesesteak. That is not a cheesesteak. Call it anything else.
That's a steak sandwich.
Call it
that's a steak and cheese sandwich.
Call it a diabolical piece of crap. I don't know. Come up with another name for it.
It is pepper and steak sandwich.
It is not a cheesesteak. Get that nonsense out of here. And it bothered me to the core.
And the point that I made to you via text is like, I've had cheesesteaks that have other things on them, right? Like, there's a place now that does a loaded cheesesteak with mozzarella sticks and french fries and everything. But they also just serve a cheesesteak, which is just meat and cheese and onions in a long roll.
Yeah, folks,
you know?
This is what I try to tell people. A cheesesteak should be just the meat, provolone or cheese whiz, and fried onions. That's it.
I humbly throw American cheese into the mix because I like American cheese.
But the quality of the meat should be enough, and the flavoring of the meat should be enough and the flavoring of the onion should be enough to carry you over. If it's not, then the cheesesteak's not good enough.
Right.
Because all the juices and the seasonings that you get from the steak and the onions should be enough to be delicious enough for your sandwich.
Right. You only need those three ingredients.
When you go to, like, my favorite spot is Phillips on Passyunk. You don't need anything else to go with the cheesesteak. You don't need pepper. You don't need any of this BS crap. You don't need
it should stand
peppers
on its own.
You don't need any of this hoopla. No. The cheese, the steak, and the onion should be seasoned and tasty enough that that's all you need. And you take a big bite of that, and you're good to go. Yeah, if it's not, there's something wrong with the steak.
It should stand on its own. Now, it's not to say there can't be, there can't be variations on the original, but the original, the classic, the base model, if you will, the foundation, is just those three main ingredients. And you got to perfect that before you throw in all the extra stuff.
If you need the extra stuff, it's not a good cheesesteak. And it's not cheesesteak. Don't call it a cheesesteak. Call it something else.
No, wait. Now, you're telling me you've never had like a pizza steak or like a cheesesteak with peppers and mushrooms?
But that's not a Philly cheese. That's not a.
Well, places here do that too.
Don't call that. No, call it something else. That you shouldn't need anything else to go on a cheesesteak. Onions, meat, cheese. That's it. That's all you need. And like you said, it's like the fundamentals. They gotta be good. If they're not good, the whole sandwich falls apart and it's not good.
I don't mind if there's additions, but their base model was not a cheese. That's where I'm saying is like you can have the weird cheesesteaks, but you have to have like your classic original option, your plain pizza, if you will, has to be just the steak, the cheese, and the onions. You know what I mean? And then you can modify it from there.
Right. Then from there on, call it a mushroom cheesesteak. Call it a.
But you need to start with the foundation.
Yes. So that's what I'm trying to say.
But their foundation was not a cheesesteak. Their foundation was like a pepper and steak sandwich.
No, it was some abomination that I almost gagged at when I saw it come out.
You sent me a picture of it. It didn't look good. I might forgive it if it actually looked delicious, but it didn't look delicious. It looked like cafeteria food.
Yeah, and by the way, I did not order this. No, I watched somebody else order this.
You stuck around and waited for someone else to order.
Yeah, I'm not giving money to this horrible stew not organization here.
I like the South Philly Italian.
Yeah. Apparently, something I never realized. So
What?
apparently, I do a lot of yo. Yeah, like Rocky, like yo. That was like
I don't know.
apparently like when people were like trying to be like, oh yeah, you're from Philly, you're the yo guy. I'm like, what? And like, when you get on like calls and stuff, you go yo.
Yo.
Like, I didn't realize I did. Like, I don't know. I guess. I don't know.
Now, is that the Philly part or is that the Italian part? Because I've been told I go oh a lot. Like, oh, yeah.
So yeah, I've been told that's like a Northeast thing.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not necessarily. I mean, Italian is also associated with that because you've got Jersey Italians and
you
New
basically
York Italians.
pick a vowel and you shout it.
Yeah, you buy a vowel and that's your vowel to use.
You're telling me you haven't done it? Oh, hey,
yeah, oh.
You pick a vowel and you shout. If you want to be Italian, you pick a vowel and shout.
All right, so here's the thing. I think the O is like Italian.
That's Italian. That's
but
like
yo,
Philly.
that's
yo,
like
that's
Philly.
Philly.
Like I'm calling you out. Like, yo, hey, how you doing?
Is that something we do?
Apparently, I do it, and
Apparently, I have an accent.
I don't know. Apparently, I don't. Yeah, and apparently we have accents. I don't know, but to them, they don't have an accent. It's all relative. You're not used to.
I'm told I say hoagie like they do in Mayor of Easttown.
I'm not going to like Delco.
I'm not going to say it again.
Oh,
because I'm gonna. I don't want to.
Hoagie.
No, I can't.
You do the hoagie.
Hoagie.
I'm trying to give you some
hoagie.
Hoagie.
Does it sound hoagie?
I don't know. See, I think you're normal, but apparently.
Well, thank you, Rich. I'm
yes.
normal.
Yes. But yeah, apparently for the outsiders, yeah, we stress the HO.
What? Screw the outsiders.
Okay, there you go.
All we need is our regular plain cheesesteaks and our yos.
All right. Well, you know what? We wasted enough time now because that was already our introduction. There you go. I took up all the introduction. Anyway, Dallas was all right, but at least I got barbecue. But the barbecue was actually really good. That would probably be my shining moment from the trip down there.
Anyway, Dallas was all right.
Yeah.
What a glowing review of a major city in America. It had buildings.
Yeah, but they were lame.
They had sandwiches, but they sucked.
Yeah, I did eat at Whataburger. That was pretty good.
Okay. They sell them in the grocery stores, don't they? Like the frozen patties? Or did I imagine that?
I don't think so.
No.
I mean, I don't know. Maybe out there they do, but I don't know. All right, we got to move on. Because we got a lot of news to get to, and we're going to do the first batch of news. Folks, it is time to launch into the Sports Sampler.
So you're not good at sports. It's a very small part of life.
Sports. In your face. Ha ha.
Hey, yo. There you go. This is adding some more flavor there.
That's what people were saying watching the Eagles game.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch of, hey, yo. Because it was a close one. It was a really close one. The Eagles won a tough nail-biter against the Chicago Bears, 25-20. Yikes.
Yep, but you know what? A win is still a win.
Mamma mia! Boobies.
What does this guy think he's an Indian?
Like such as?
Yep, so the Eagles now are at 13-1.
13-1.
And they're one win away from locking up the division and the number one seed, right?
Yeah, so that's really the big takeaway from the game is they only need to win one more game this season to clinch the first seed in the NFC playoffs, which is absolutely huge. You get home field advantage, you get a bye week. That first seed is so important, especially with the expanded playoff and the expanded season. They're going to need that extra time. So this was a huge win and made even more important because Dallas lost to the Jaguars.
Yeah. What a comeback.
So if Dallas had won...
Thank you, Doug Peterson.
Oh, man. He's been, like a secret Philly, agent down there in Jacksonville. Because if Dallas had won, we would have needed to win at least 2 games of our final 3, I think is how the math works out. But since they lost, we just got to win one
of the remaining 3. Yep.
But let's focus on the Bears for right now. It was a cold and windy game. Lots of turnovers.
Yeah.
And I think, all things considered, with the turnovers, with the elements against us, we still managed to find a way to win. Both of our receivers went over 125 yards, 300 yards combined. Defense had 6 sacks. This team still shows up even with all the adversity against them. I mean, what was it? 2 picks. I think it was a couple of fumbles.
Yeah, a couple of fumbles.
It was.
Yeah.
It was.
There was
very
a lot
ugly.
of turnovers.
Yeah.
Yeah. This was not a pretty game by the Eagles' standards, but yeah, they were able to battle it through and pull out the win, 25-20 in this game. Frustrating game plan because I think if there is one thing I am very cautious about, and the thing that came to home to roost was the fact that Jalen Hurts, they keep using him 16, 17 rushes a game.
Yeah.
Well, I think the bill came due because now he has a sprained shoulder.
Yep.
And this, it's one of those things. It could be an issue. I don't know if I like the sound of this.
Yeah, so he sprained his throwing shoulder. The official report as of recording is that it's day-to-day. They don't know. They're playing this whole coy thing. Oh, we don't know if he's going to play Saturday. He might not. He may. It all depends on how he feels.
It's a spoiler! Ooh, it's a spoiler! Don't listen! Go away!
Yeah.
He shouldn't play.
Spoiler
he
alert.
should be sitting.
He's probably not going to play.
Yeah, he's probably going to be out for Saturday.
From what I understand, the sprain is not that bad, but I don't think you risk your quarterback, your starting quarterback, in a game where you only need to win one of these last 3.
Yeah.
And one of these games is against the hapless Saints. So
that we have their draft pick for.
Right. So, and we were talking about this before the show. The most important game to win actually
is actually the Saints.
It's not Dallas, it's the Saints, right?
Yeah.
Because the Saints losing gives us a better draft pick. It makes sure that the Bucs stay in the playoff hunt, and we want the Bucs to be in so they can knock the Cowboys out in the playoffs.
If Tom Brady does his job.
So it's in a weird twist of events. I actually think it's a little bit better to lose Dallas and to beat the Saints than it is to win in Dallas and rest the last 2 weeks.
Yeah. Basically, whatever happens, we need to have a win in I think that game's here. So a win against New Orleans.
Right.
So we want that to be the focal point. This is kind of tying into Fantastic Four picks, but I feel the Cowboys coming up against a division opponent, number 1, the first place team in the division. I think they had a trap game against the Jaguars. They were looking ahead.
Well, clearly, because
they wanted to do some damage against the Eagles.
Micah Parsons was talking trash.
Yep,
and he got caught in his own trash talk.
And once they went up by 17 points in that game against the Jaguars, all of their thoughts turned to just, we want to beat the Eagles. We want to beat the Eagles. We're ready for the Eagles. And they forgot to lock that game that they had currently at hand.
They let the Jags score 40.
Yeah. So much for that vaulted defense. What happened to that?
You talk about this crazy defense. The Eagles, everybody talks about our really good defense. I don't think we've done that at all this season, let up that many points.
Yeah, you're not going to win many games if you let up 40 points.
No.
But I think because of that, now they're going to be playing with piss and vinegar because I think they're going to be doubly focused because they know they should have had that game against the Jaguars. That's an embarrassing loss.
Yeah, and I think you're right. They're going to come out. They're going to be pissed. They're going to want to prove all the pundits wrong. Come in here, just smack down the Eagles.
Should we just launch in the Fantastic Four picks? I inadvertently just did that.
Sure. Let's start the Fantastic Four. We'll start with the Eagles game so we can talk about this a little bit.
Yeah, so there you go. Now we're officially in Fantastic Four pick mode.
That's right. It's the Fantastic Four picks for Week 16. We're going to continue the conversation of the Eagles and the Dallas Cowboys. That's an early Christmas present, but it may be a little bit of a nightmare like a Christmas Carol with the Eagles traveling to Dallas on Christmas Eve, 4/25. Like we were saying, I think it's more honestly, I don't know if I'm going to actually pick this game, but I think it's better that the Eagles lose this game because Dallas is going to come into this and try to prove us wrong anyway. And they're going to try and beat us up anyway. Honestly, I say take the L. It pains me to say it's almost heresy. It's almost, what do you call it, blasphemy. But take the L, rest your starters, because statistically, teams do not beat their division opponent 3 times in a year.
So
If we beat Dallas and face them in the playoffs, the odds are against us. So
Yeah.
I'd rather us lose, rest the starters, rest Hurts, focus on the Saints. We only need 1 win. We're not, I know Herm Edwards always says you play to win the game. Right now at 13-1, I'm playing long term. I'm playing looking down the road because you have to stay focused on, you don't want to get caught looking too far into the future, but keep in mind what the ultimate goal is this late in the season. So, actually, I still say the Eagles because I think Gardner Minshew, Dallas Goedert, and Miles Sanders is still going to pose a threat. I don't want them to win, but I think they may actually win, even with the backup QB.
So I'm going to go the exact opposite of you.
Okay.
So I think the Eagles are still going to come out and try to win. I don't think Jalen Hurts plays. A sprained shoulder, you do not take a risk with that. They're going to rest Hurts, keep him on the sidelines for this one. But I still think they're going to try and come out full force with Minshew mania and do what they can. However,
so you think they're going to try and they're still going to lose?
Yeah, I do. Dallas, I really think that was a wake-up call against the Jaguars. They're going to be pissed off that they lost that game, and I think they're going to welcome the Eagles for the first 5 seconds of that game, and they're going to launch everything they can against them. They want to show the NFL that they are still a viable threat to go deep in the playoffs, because they've been embarrassed now 2 weeks in a row. They almost lost the game against the Texans.
Yeah.
Don't forget about that. So this is now 2 weeks where their stability has been kind of called into question. To me, this seems like a spot where Mike McCarthy wants to
Make a statement. It's a statement game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think the Eagles at this point, I think they're going to probably let them because, without Jalen Hurts, I think it's going to be tough. I don't know if Minshew can keep up the same pace with Dak Prescott and Elliott and Tony Pollard and all of them. I still think I think Cowboys probably take this one.
See, and I'm of the opinion that they're really only going to lose unless they want to lose.
Well, they still could.
They still could.
Yeah, but I don't know. I think this is a game Dallas is going to be hyper focused on. This is probably one that they've had circled the entire season.
Oh yeah.
They want to cause as much pain to Philadelphia.
That's why they've been dropping games recently.
Yeah. So, yeah, I hate to say it, but Dallas probably, and also Eagles won the first game, so usually you split your division rival. So
if you're both good, you usually split. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see which way it goes. It's a weird one. I'm kind of ambivalent towards it. Really.
It's also a weird timing that it's on Christmas Eve.
Yeah.
All these games
interrupt dinner and everything. I don't know. It's just weird. I have very mixed feelings about it.
Yeah.
But let's see if we have mixed feelings about this one. It's an offensive showdown between the Seahawks and the Kansas City Chiefs. Both these teams, really great offenses. Rich, who do you think takes this one?
Nah, don't overthink this. Andy Reid, Chiefs, Patrick Mahomes. They're having another banner season so far. Seattle, they're in the playoff race, which is very admirable, and Pete Carroll's doing what he can with whatever's left over on the Seattle roster. I mean, it is impressive that they're in contention for the wild card spots, but no, don't overthink this. It's Patrick Mahomes. He's having another MVP level season. You got to go Chiefs at home.
Right. It's Patrick Mahomes at home. That's the thing you have to keep in mind. Right now, they're almost 10-point favorites. They're just too good to drop this game to an average team.
Yeah.
I think the Seahawks will end up making the playoffs, but I don't think they're going to win this one here against the Chiefs. Moving along to an NFC playoff preview, possible preview, we have the New York Giants traveling to Minnesota to face off against the Vikings. Rich, what do you think about this one here?
Yeah.
Do the Giants have a chance of staying alive in the playoff hunt?
Oh, yeah. Especially with their win against the Commanders. Oh, yeah. They are in the thick of it. The Vikings coming off of the biggest comeback in NFL history against the Colts. I mean, whew, that was a game they should not have won. But they pulled out a win there. I like the Vikings are just more explosive. I like their big play capability. Not to say that I want them to win the NFC, but it wouldn't surprise me if they do. They just have big play capability all over the field. And if their defense holds up, they're a formidable team. I would rather have Kirk Cousins right now than Daniel Jones on that Giants team. So I'm going Vikings at home.
Oh, God. You guys know I hate the Vikings, but they do have a very good team this season. Really, the only way the Giants can beat them is if they lean on the ground game. The Giants have one of the best rushing attacks in the league. The Vikings have the 32nd ranked defense. I don't know what has happened, but they are absolutely atrocious right now on defense. The Giants could win if they can keep that ground attack going, but recently it has just not been working for them. So I have to go Vikings at home, but I'll tell you, Rich, the point spread, I know you're a point spread guy, it's pretty close, 3.5.
Yeah.
Basically a field goal. So, maybe not as close or not as sure victory as we think. And finally, we have an NFC playoff preview between the San Francisco 49ers and the Washington Commanders. Again, two teams vying for playoff spots. Can the Commanders stay alive? The Giants have a tough road ahead, but the Commanders have a tougher road ahead. Can they stick with it?
Yeah, unfortunately, the Commanders kind of lost any hope with their playoff footing. I know technically they would make the playoffs if the season ended today, but it's going to be very tough for them to hold that last wild card spot. The 49ers, they have the best roster of talent put together because Brock Purdy, he has just slipped into this quarterback position as the third string, now promoted to the starting quarterback because of two devastating injuries, and he's been fine. He's been playing like a veteran. Brock Purdy he's fine. I mean, until somebody rattles him from that offensive line and breaks through that line and causes him some chaos, I believe in this team right now. They don't need Jimmy Garoppolo. They don't need the other guy.
Trey
Lance. I forgot his name already. Boy, that's not good for Trey Lance.
They're going to have a really tough conversation at the end of the season about which way to go at quarterback.
With three quarterbacks that aren't all the best.
Two of these three stay on the team, but you got to figure out which two.
Maybe only one does, and you draft another one.
Maybe. But right now, San Fran, they are playing really good football. They're top 10 offense, top 10 defense. That's usually a recipe for success. The Commanders, they're hanging in there. They have one of the better defenses. They just keep catching bad breaks. And I just don't think they're going to be able to get it done going into San Fran. They got to travel to the West Coast. It's always tough. So I'm going with the home team here, San Francisco 49ers all the way.
Wait, no,
I had it backwards. It's San Fran.
Oh, it's at San Fran.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
Yeah.
All right,
My
so
mistake.
there you go. That is our Fantastic Four picks for the upcoming Christmas weekend slate. It is a little crazy that there's so many games happening on Christmas Eve because, I don't know, I feel like the NFL has this backwards. I guess for majority of people, Christmas Day is the most important, but we're Italian. Christmas Eve is the most important thing for us.
I've learned that I have to stop measuring things by the way that I do it because I'm way more Italian than I realized.
Apparently, we both are. Yo, hey,
Oh,
hey. We scream. I don't know. I don't know what the situation is.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
But I don't know. How do you feel about the Christmas Eve games since you brought it up? Because there's I think there's 8 or 9 of them on Christmas Eve.
I don't know. I don't know how. It sucks because it's right on the weekend too. Christmas Day is Sunday. Christmas Eve is Saturday.
So you gotta pick one, I guess, of the two.
Yeah. I guess for the majority of people they prefer Christmas Day is like the main holiday. But I don't know. Yeah, for us, Christmas Eve has always been the bigger deal. So
Yeah.
yeah,
I know the Eagles are at a weird time. It's like interrupting dinner and everything.
You know what? Just everybody in Philadelphia, let's just collectively have dinner.
It wasn't meant to happen. It wasn't meant to happen this week. I think that they still have a chance of winning, but it's weird for me to wrap my mind around. But do I want them to? Do I want to have to leave my fried fish to go watch the Eagles, win a game that could spell doom for us later in
Do we
the
have
playoffs.
to
Like,
and watch Minshew Mania?
and watch Minshew Mania. Like, I don't know. I feel very mixed, odd feelings. Like, I want to beat Dallas, but at the same time, like, statistically, we shouldn't. You know?
Yeah,
Like, it'd be better if we didn't.
And like I want to have all the firepower aimed at the Saints next week.
Right. We just gotta win one, guys. One.
And I want it to be the Saints
Right.
because we have their draft pick.
Right. If we win against Dallas, we sit our starters against the Saints and the Giants.
I want to actively hurt the Saints because
they deserve it after the Bounty Bowl, several years ago.
We need a better draft pick in 2023.
Yeah.
But at the same time, I don't want Dallas to win, so I don't know.
It's so odd. It's so odd.
Just win everything.
What if they tie?
Oh, I mean, look, ties have been happening.
They've been happening. I don't like it, but they happen.
Yeah.
Ever since I said I don't like ties, there's been multiple every single season.
They knew you were big fans of the tie.
Huge fans. Anyway.
By the way, also, Argentina won the World Cup. I totally forgot about that.
Oh, crap. I knew there was something I forgot.
Yeah, I watched that before the Eagles game on
So
Sunday.
did I. I actually watched the end of it.
That was crazy. It went into penalty kicks.
Son of a bitch. I was like, I don't have a 3-minute drill this week. The World Cup happened.
Yeah. We're Americans. I know. We don't care about soccer.
Congrats to Argentina.
Yeah.
Lionel Messi.
Messi got his first
Is
World
that
Cup.
how you say his name? I heard the
think so.
commentator say like Lionel.
I don't know.
Like somebody who knows soccer, let me know.
I don't know.
Is it Lionel or is it Lionel?
I mean, the only thing I know is that, good for Argentina and good for everybody, but FIFA is a pain in the ass organization.
Oh, they're awful.
And I still think the soccer field is way too big.
It's too big.
Way too big. I'm sorry. You want to help me out getting interested into soccer? Shorten the damn field.
No, you know what?
Make it smaller.
Well, I watched the end of that game, waiting for the Eagles, real football, to come on TV.
Yeah, the real football.
And thank God we're an American-based podcast.
Yeah.
And the announcer saying 3-3. It's one of the highest scoring World Cups ever. 3-3. If I watched an American football game and it was a 3-3, I'd be throwing my controller to the TV and saying, "What the hell am I watching here?" 3-3.
Yeah.
3-3.
Yeah. And like I mentioned a couple weeks ago, a tie happens so often in soccer that's like a separate outcome when you're betting online. So if a game ties, you actually lose the bet.
So my girlfriend and I were talking about the scoring. And the tie thing is just a whole other. You can get 0-0 ties, 1-1 ties, all that game for nothing. But we were talking about the scoring, how like we were watching the final moments, and every time they would get close, the whole crowd would be like, and then nothing would happen.
Yeah.
And she made the point, it was a pretty valid point, that like it's so exciting because it doesn't happen that often. And there's so few opportunities that when you finally do score, it's such a big, like, that's why everybody goes so crazy. I'm like, okay, I get that. My problem, though, is that not enough is happening in between the scores.
Still needs to happen more often.
I think it needs to happen more often as well.
Needs to happen more often.
But the moment to moment needs to be more exciting. There needs to be more shots on goal. There needs to be more like open field tackling. Like maybe like put some pads on, and I'm trying to create football.
Yeah, you're trying to you just won the NFL.
But it's the moment to moment that's so boring. Like when they actually do shoot at the goal, it's exciting. But that only happens like a handful of times.
Yeah, shorten the field. They got the field is way too big. I'm sorry.
Or like let them take like pot shots from like half field or something. Like I don't know, like anything.
Yeah.
Like, put 2 goals back there. Like put the goal up in the air. I don't know. Do something creative. Put a crater in the middle of the field. You got to dribble around.
Get cars down there and have them drive the ball into the goal.
Do like what's that? The thing with the horses and the mallets?
Polo.
Do that, but with cars.
Yeah.
And you have.
We want Rocket League.
I want Rocket League. Like anything. Oh, you were going Rocket League. I was thinking polo.
We want real life Rocket League.
Anything.
Yes.
Anything.
Yeah, let's do that instead. Because soccer is still, I'm sorry.
But congrats to Argentina.
Yeah, but still, I can't get into it.
No.
But there you go. That's our sports sampler.
We're terrible.
Yes, we are. We're terrible world citizens. But hopefully we'll rebound coming back because we still got the entertainment entree and then the non-fortune cookie odd news. And for the odd news, it might be a first here on the show that we've ever done. So,
Oh?
yeah, don't go
What?
anywhere. We'll be right back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast.
Ready for the weekend? Happy Friday. Hi, my name's Marie, and I'm an artist who's been making Happy Friday doodles every week for over 7 years. And now you can own my art collection in this Volume 1 and Volume 2 art series. These doodles span across multiple themes, yearly festivities, various countries, languages, and more. Both coffee table books have something for everyone and are the perfect conversation starter or gift for a friend. Really, anyone who enjoys a good weekend. Available on Amazon, Ingram, BookBaby,
Barnes & Noble,
and more. Visit happyfridaydoodles.com/books and get your copies today. Let's celebrate the best day of the week. Happy Friday.
If you go to Taco Bell at 3 in the morning, this is what you're going to get. Yeah,
That clip is already coming into play.
yes,
I love
already. So there you go.
Stop.
What happened?
The thing went on.
Well, how did that turn on? That was
I don't
weird.
know. The fart sound.
The fart sound turned Amazon on?
I think the fart sound turned on my Echo.
What the
I
hell?
don't know. It turned on.
What are you doing, Jeff Bezos? What are you into?
Basically, he's listening to fart sounds.
He's listening to our fart sounds. Oh, my God.
I changed the trigger word to fart. I got to fart at it now. I don't know what happened.
That's really awkward. You're going to have to... Excuse me.
Excuse me. How can I help you?
You may need some bowel.
Do you want me to automatically order you Pepto-Bismol? I don't know why. I don't know why I'm talking to it solely through farts now.
It actually, you fart into it.
Fart
and
once for yes and twice for no.
No. Actually, you fart into the device, and then
Yeah.
Amazon can determine what medicine you need.
Oh, right. Wow. That's next level right there. Or what you've been eating and what you want to reorder.
Oh.
I detect Cheetos. Would you like to subscribe?
Would you like a bulk order of
Bulk
Cheetos?
order. Ooh, yes, please.
Cheetos ordered.
Cheetos. That story took a turn.
Yeah.
Cheetos ordered.
Okay. All right. There you go. The latest from Jeff Bezos and Amazon.
It's amazing technology, I tell you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we're back here on the Crispy Noodle Podcast. If you got the video feed, Mikey has changed hats.
The other one was just too hot.
He's now going reindeer.
Yeah.
There you go, Mikey the reindeer.
I realize this is the problem with the headphones, though. It's
Yeah.
too late now. I've committed.
Now you've committed to it, yeah. So good luck. Bah humbug. I don't know what to tell you.
Yeah, you're not festive at all, man. You're just like a regular Scrooge up there.
That's what a trip to Dallas does. It sucks the
It sucks the Christmas right out of you.
Christmas spirit out of you.
Damn.
Yeah. I don't know. I'm just the work trip happened like right in the middle of December, and just like
It was like the worst possible time, right?
It messed up my body, like my or not body, like my mental projection of like where we're at in the month. Like I still think like Christmas is like 2 weeks out, and it's like no, it's this week.
No, it's like later this week.
Yeah. So my mind is not in the right place. Oh well, let's keep moving because we got to at least have the show in the right place.
Right.
So with that, we got to move on to the second part of the show, the entertainment entree.
And now, the latest in movies.
The Simpson guy writes to movies. Dear Die Hard, you rock. As especially when that guy was on the roof.
Music.
I know what that is. That's music.
Video games.
I'm Commander Shepard, and this is my favorite store on the Citadel.
Celebrities.
You really know Warren Beatty? Yes, I do. I took a leak next to him once at the Golden Globes.
And more.
You were the all-singing, all-dancing crap of the world.
This is the entertainment entree.
All right, there you go. It's officially starting the entertainment entree. And, oh, there you go. Mike is ringing his bell. There you go.
I have a jingle bell on my antlers.
Mike is very happy that came through on the microphone. He is way too happy over that.
Anyway.
Well, this is the entertainment entree, so he's providing you with quality A+ entertainment here. But, Mike, I need you to switch gears because you're not performing now. Instead, you're reporting.
That's right.
With the segment where you're going to let us know what we should keep an eye out for. I guess not just this week, though, from just kind of everything in general because we were off we were not reporting really last week
a little bit
since I was in Dallas.
A little bit last week, a little bit this week, a little bit of everything.
Okay, so give us your custom, the area in entertainment, I guess.
Oh, this show is falling apart.
The time period in entertainment.
The time period in entertainment. We didn't do the segment last week, so we have to talk about Avatar: Way of the Water. It had a monster opening weekend, pulling down over $450 million globally. If you've been keeping track, that's about a quarter of what James Cameron said the film needs to gross to be profitable. He said that. Yeah, he said that it needs to gross about $2 billion to be profitable. It's already made almost $500 million, so they're a quarter of the way there. It's expected to continue to earn and be a big earner. But as for the film itself, the film is set a decade after the events of the previous film, and it focuses on the family of Jake and Neytiri, the main characters from the original movie, and the troubles that follow them as they try to find a safe home amidst colonizing human armies and a resurfaced ancient evil. So it seems like, a better plot than Pocahontas. That was the main knock, because the first movie was Pocahontas.
Yeah.
And, the critics so far are viewing it favorably. It has a 78% on Rotten Tomatoes with an average of 7 out of 10. So generally, average to above average reviews. And here's my thing with the first movie. It wasn't a bad movie. It was just a movie. Like, it was good. It wasn't great. Everybody said it was the best movie of all time.
No.
It was just a decent movie. It was a decent action film. It had a really creative world, spectacular visuals.
Yeah, very creative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the world, Rich.
Yeah. Unobtainium. Wow. What a name.
Okay.
Very creative.
The name of the mineral, and I know that was when I watched the movie. That was the biggest thing that pissed me off when I originally saw it. But in terms of the visuals and the actual landscapes and the creatures, I mean, they did envision a very beautiful, vivid, literal world. And it seems to, that's what the critics are highlighting about this one as well, is that it's a visual spectacle, and they continue to enhance those good parts of the film. But let's see how this one does at the box office, because that's really the big thing here with this movie is that it needs to gross $2 billion. So if you're looking for a big action blockbuster in the middle of winter, go check out Avatar: Way of the Water in theaters now. But if you want to stay in and check out a fun film, go check out Glass Onion, a Knives Out mystery, premiering this Friday on Netflix. This is the second film in the Knives Out universe, following the same detective, just on a different case this time. Very loosely based on the premise of Agatha Christie's novel, And Then There Were None. A group of billionaire friends gather on a private Greek island for their annual reunion, and then someone ends up dead and the mysteries begin. It's a classic whodunit. The movie has a very strong 93% on Rotten Tomatoes with an average score of 8 out of 10. It has a limited theatrical release before coming out on Netflix. If you're lucky enough to be in one of those markets, maybe check it out in theaters. If not, Netflix on Friday. The first movie was fantastic. You absolutely need to check out Glass Onion. It's going to be really, really cool.
Yep, I'm a Ryan Johnson fan. I like him.
He's a great director. He makes really cool stuff. And like I said, the first Knives Out was fantastic. The second one should be just as good. And if you've read And Then There Were None, the story is just a really interesting story. It's kind of like a Clue type story. Somebody ends up dead, and then everybody there is a suspect, and nobody knows why they're all gathered there. It's all kind of a mystery to begin with. So I'm really excited. Definitely go check it out. And that's this general time frame in entertainment.
Yes. There you go. Yeah, this time frame in entertainment. I don't know how we're gonna frame that, but there you go. No, I really am looking forward to that movie. I am stoked. I'm stoked that also that's coming out just on Netflix. That was a smart idea.
Oh yeah, I've had it marked on my calendar for a while. I'm like, I loved the first one. Have to check out the second one. But a couple of good releases here this winter for people to check out.
Yep.
But something looking far, far into the future of entertainment. Let's talk about something that was announced recently at the Game Awards. BioShock creator Ken Levine's next game. Ghost Story Games reveals Judas, which is essentially a space techno version of BioShock. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah, it's been a while since we heard from Ken Levine.
Still a long time away, though. Just initial gut reaction to seeing the trailer and, the very, very briefest of glimpses of this first project from the original BioShock creator.
I trust in Ken Levine. I mean, he's just been... I loved BioShock. I loved BioShock Infinite. I loved Burial at Sea. I mean, he can't... Right now, he's earned my trust. When this comes out, I will be eager and ready to play it. He just seems to put a really high thought into his video games and his work. I am excited as hell to hear that he's back from whatever thought hell that he was at. It's been a while. I mean, what was Burial at Sea? It's like 10 years ago at this point.
Yeah,
it's been a while.
I think Infinite came out in 2012, and so I guess the DLC released between like 2013-ish, like that area.
I mean, yeah, we're almost talking about a decade since we last heard from him.
And by the time, and here's the thing, Judas was just announced.
Yeah.
I mean, you should not expect to see this game until at least 2020, probably 2025, honestly.
Yeah.
I would say we're at the end of 2022. So it's a very long time coming, but you're right. It's just great to see something from this creator who made, in the previous generation of games, like two of the best narrative games of all time, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, so at the time in 2007...
Literally blew me away, both games.
Like, when BioShock came out, I think people need to realize, if any listeners are younger listeners or maybe aren't into video games, they need to understand that in 2007, when BioShock came out, video games were not talked about in the same breath of TV shows and movies like they are now.
Yeah.
Right? Video games were like, it's Call of Duty, it's Madden, it's Sonic, it's Mario. It wasn't quote-unquote art. 2007 comes around, BioShock comes out, the whole game turns the medium on its head.
Yeah.
Right? It makes it something else. And from that point forward, then you start getting Uncharted's and Last of Us and... all these amazing sweeping narratives. And it doesn't start with BioShock, but BioShock is the one that kind of like pushes it, into that direction, like really forcefully. Made people realize.
I think BioShock was like the first like sign that I think video games were entering like true
they were maturing.
Adulthood and adult themes and adult methods of telling the story. Like we kind of had this feeling that like video games have been growing up with this current generation.
Right.
That to me, that was like video games reaching adulthood and maturity.
Right.
It was like, wow, what a game.
Yeah.
The story was perfect. The twist was unbelievable. It worked on the art. Like you said, the art was fantastic. The themes that it pulled in,
everything was just
in
working.
the gut. Yeah. It's almost basically a perfect game. I would say it's a perfect game.
I think the original BioShock and BioShock Infinite were, I think, damn near. I mean, they're in my top 10 of all time.
Yeah,
really. So anyway, enough praising BioShock. If you haven't played them yet, go play them. Whoever you are, wherever you are, they're like probably $5 now because they're so old. But to see the next game from this,
BioShock is 15 years old.
BioShock is 15 years old. Yeah,
That's crazy.
Yeah. But you know what? Back to Judas. I have a brief description here from the trailer. Quote, a disintegrating starship, a desperate escape plan. You are the mysterious and troubled Judas. Your only hope for survival is to make or break alliances with your worst enemies. Will you work together to find what you broke, or will you leave it to burn? So again, you know, the brief gameplay glimpses show you first-person shooter. You have abilities in one hand and a gun in another. It's the same BioShock formula, just in space this time. And it sounds like a pretty cool premise so far. Disintegrating a starship. You can imagine, you know, another very dystopic kind of post-apocalyptic vibe. Everything's falling apart around you, just like Rapture, just like Columbia. We pretty much know what to expect in terms of like the kind of flow of it and the feel of it, but the individual story beats is what's going to be unique and creative.
Yeah. So definitely looking forward to that game whenever more information comes out on it.
Yeah, absolutely. But moving along to some less exciting news in the world of entertainment, HBO removing content from HBO Max again. And I guess I shouldn't say HBO. It's the parent company, Time Warner Discovery, Warner Brothers.
Yeah,
Discovery,
that merge.
That weird merge. But the big news here is that they're releasing HBO originals like Westworld. And this is super odd to me because, like,
doesn't HBO own Westworld?
That's
like,
the thing.
Why would you remove it?
And it's this weird thing of wanting to avoid paying producers and paying, like, you know, every little bit. What are they called? I can't remember the industry term for it. But, you know, when you show something over and over again, I think it's called residuals or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, all the actors and producers and directors and yada, yada, yada. And you hate to see this. You hate to see HBO and Warner Brothers taking from the creators, you know, just in service to their bottom line. It's really, really upsetting, and also makes me a little worried because I'm in the middle of the final season of The Sopranos, and I'm going to my girlfriend, clock's ticking. They're pulling HBO originals, not HBO Max originals, but HBO originals from the HBO service.
Yeah, you need to watch that as soon as possible before...
I'm probably not going to get to watch The Wire at this point because they're just going based on this trend of removals.
Yeah, I don't know what the logic is behind it.
They're going to claim these things as losses. They're going to avoid paying residuals. It's all because they're trying to shave, I think it's like $2 billion off their bottom line. And I think this is the wrong way to do it because you're ostracizing fans. You're giving people less a reason to subscribe. They're like, before it's like HBO Max. We have DC and Comedy Central and you know, all Studio Ghibli and HBO. Now you go, hey, we got nothing.
Yeah.
But subscribe anyway, $15 a month.
Yeah. And
what's your selling point?
You take away Succession, I'm gonna cancel that as fast as possible.
Well, I guess the benefit for you and I right now for Succession is that it's still currently running.
It better stay running.
Like, they canceled Westworld and then they removed it. So as long as Succession stays running, knock on wood, you know, it should continue on the service. Now, there is a brief glimmer of hope here because Variety reports that Warner Brothers Discovery plans to, quote, license some of its canceled and pulled programming to third-party free ad-supported television channels, FAST channels. The company says it will announce plans for its own proprietary FAST channel in 2023. So a FAST channel, you know, like Samsung TV Plus or like Vizio, whatever. I think that's what they mean by a FAST channel, free ad-supported television, where it just like shows I have Samsung TV Plus set to the Hell's Kitchen channel. So I just watch Hell's Kitchen.
You love your Gordon Ramsay.
And at any point in the day, I can turn on my TV and like, oh, season 11 of Hell's Kitchen. Let's go. They have that Kitchen Nightmares channel, and you know, like your TV has the same, I think, right?
Yep.
So, but why?
Yeah.
Well, I know why, because they want the ad revenue. They can't really get that on HBO and HBO Max because it's subscription based. It's like I feel like this is the wrong way.
Yeah, to get money
go about it.
Yeah, wouldn't you want
just sell pre or post roll ads?
Wouldn't you want better content so that you get more subscribers?
You'd think.
Yeah. But I don't know. I guess you can charge more with the ads.
I honestly, I have no idea.
Yeah.
I have no idea. I guess they can make
baffles.
But why don't they sell pre or post roll ads? Like before it airs, you show 30 seconds of ad like YouTube, right?
Yeah.
Nothing like, I mean, couldn't you accomplish the same that way? But then you can't claim the service as ad free. Like HBO Max, if you subscribe for $15 a month, you can't say ad free viewing.
Yeah, I thought that was a perk that you want to get with the streaming services, that you didn't have to deal with ads.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I'm baffled by this move, and I don't know what this means for the future of all their content. But don't you mess around with my Succession.
Yeah. And please just leave Sopranos alone for like another 2 or 3 weeks. I just need to make it through the holidays so I can finish. I'm like, I think 3 or 4 episodes into the second part of season 6. Like, I'm like a good weekend away from finishing The Sopranos. I just need to get through the holidays. For the love of God, Warner Brothers.
So close. Well, speaking of HBO Max, one of its entities that it shows is DC. And
for the time being.
Yeah. And the DC universe is going through a rapid change because James Gunn has pretty much initiated a full-blown clean reboot of the entire DC movie universe.
This is like clean slate type rebooting.
I mean, we heard this coming along first with Batgirl getting canceled earlier this year. Then we heard Wonder Woman 3 getting canceled. But recently, the big headlines, Henry Cavill is out as Superman, and The Rock is going to be out as Black Adam after the movie did not do that well at the box office.
Yeah.
And this is doubly startling because Henry Cavill is in Black Adam as Superman.
What a disaster.
Yes.
What an actual disaster, because you have this cameo. Fans have been asking, pleading with DC, like, we want another Superman. I haven't been saying it. People somewhere have been saying it. And so DC's like, sure, here you go. Here's the teaser. And then they're like, all right, you're done.
Yep, sorry.
Like, there's no, and I get it, because that was part of the previous regime, and James Gunn is going to do things differently now, and it's all in his vision now, right? Part of, and we've talked about this in the past, the leg up that Marvel has is that they have one guy.
Yeah.
They have the guy in Feige, right? DC
the Kevin machine.
The Kevin machine. DC never had that. But part of the problem now with finding their one guy is you have to allow him the creative freedom to make his vision. And you can't make his vision when you have 3 Jokers and 4 Batmen and 2 Flashes and a Wonder Woman whose movies get progressively worse and a Batgirl who could have had a good movie but then gets canceled. And then you got the Flash doing stuff with little kids in Hawaii or wherever.
We don't know about.
It's a disaster.
Yeah.
And so you got to nuke it and rise from the ashes like a phoenix. You can't, like, Frankenstein this together. And it sucks, but this is, I think, the only way to do it.
Yeah, unfortunately. But it's just
really piss poor planning.
Yeah, it's a shame. There's a lot of collateral damage with this move. Obviously, what I've just read. Henry Cavill all of a sudden goes from being part of 2 franchises to being none. He also lost The Witcher in the middle of all this.
Yeah. Well, he pulled out of The Witcher, right? Because they were deviating from the source material.
Yeah, and he didn't like it. Yeah.
Because I think he thought he had Superman, and now he doesn't have Superman.
Nope, now he doesn't have anything.
He probably wouldn't have left The Witcher if he knew this was happening.
Yeah. I would just say, if I'm Henry Cavill's agent, I am calling up Barbara Broccoli. And I am saying, what do I have to do to get Henry Cavill to be 007 right now?
That'd be pretty.
What do we have to do?
That'd be pretty cool.
What do you need? Do you need him to work out? What do you need him to do? We need him on the dotted line. He needs to be part of a franchise. He's too good not to be part. To be without a franchise.
Right. Exactly. I feel like James Bond would be a good thing for him. Just because he's kind of like a nerdy guy, and it seems like kind of like he could. It would be a good series for him. He's not going to go the dramatic route. I think he wants to do a more like genre type thing.
Yeah,
so
but
I think spy thriller would be a good.
If
fit.
I was his agent, that would be my move.
Yeah,
call the Broccolis up right now. How do we get this done right now? Because he needs that. He should have some sort of franchise to be a
call
part
the
of.
broccolis, call the carrots, call all of the vegetables. You said the broccolis? Is that their name?
Yeah, Barbara Broccoli is the
like broccoli,
yes.
the vegetable. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
she's the executive producer of the Bond franchise. Yep.
Hey, whatever.
Yep.
I like broccoli.
Very good.
But back to the DC just purge. Marvel's way better.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Way to just rub it in. Yeah.
Like, I mean, this is the thing. Like, it sucks so much for DC fans because, like, every time there's a good movie, they find a way to completely isolate it and do nothing with it, and then like cancel the series. Like every time they had something positive going. But do you think that if they fully reboot it, maybe they could create something that's worthwhile?
Maybe.
Like, do you think that there's a path forward here? And how confident do you feel in James Gunn, after the announcement of all these nukings of all these franchises? And, of course, he's going to keep his Suicide Squad and he's going to keep his properties. But
yeah, I don't know. Good luck. I don't know. Like, it's his decisions now. So,
and it's still super messy because they have an Aquaman film planned for the end of 2023. And there's apparently a cameo by one of the Batmen, but they don't know which one yet. No, seriously,
Yeah.
I was literally reading this.
Yep.
They're going to have a cameo, but they haven't decided whether it's going to be Keaton or Batfleck because they don't know which one is going to be in the future of the DC. And it's like these types of questions that further emphasize the inconsistency and the lack of any sort of like continuity. Like, how can you have a connected universe when you can't even agree on who your post-credits Easter eggs are?
Yep.
You have Henry Cavill, then you drop him as Superman. Then you got two potential Batmen that could be an Easter egg, and you don't know which one yet. Like, you had a Wonder Woman 3, and you just decide, no, we don't. You had a Batgirl, then you're like, no, we don't. Like,
yep. It's a bold new world for James Gunn because it's all his decisions now.
Should focus on just really good standalone films. Like, every time there's a good standalone film, they ruin it by trying to shoehorn connections that don't need to be there.
They just want to be Marvel so bad, and it's like, don't.
You have to have the thread before you do the Easter eggs.
I just wish they would just don't try and be Marvel. Do your own thing. Like the Robert Pattinson Batman was a really good movie.
Yeah, just continue with that.
Just stick with that. And don't worry about having Justice League or anything like that. Just focus on Batman.
Same thing with the Joker.
Yeah.
Fantastic one-off. Don't make it a thing.
Yeah, I don't know. But they're not going to listen to us. So, oh well. That'll be the... it's all up to James Gunn. It's his baby. So good luck. Good luck with DC. Hopefully have more success than the past DCEUs that we've had. But with that, we got to move on to our third and final segment, the non-fortune cookie odd news.
We've been talking about cool and its ramifications and how it applies to the hip scene. But maybe you could give us some examples now of the opposite of cool, uncool. Just exactly what is uncool?
My nipples look like milk duds.
Holy shnikes.
It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
It's not of this world. I don't know exactly what it is or what it's doing, but this is not human intelligence, okay? It's not human intelligence we're facing.
How you doing? Me? I'm doing great.
Manda basata. I don't make this stuff up.
I'll take a pound of nuts.
That's a lot of nuts. That'll be $4, baby. You want fries with that?
I seen the celery dance across the baseball fields.
You had me at meat tornado.
No, go past this. Past this part. In fact, never play this again.
Okay. What does that mean?
And now it's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news.
So sit back, get everything you need to get from the kitchen. Be sure and empty the bladders. Go to the bathroom because you're in for a hell of a ride.
Odd news.
That's right, everyone. It's time for the non-fortune cookie odd news. Here in this segment, Rich researches the news, he reads the news, and I react to the news. He finds a weird and wacky story and keeps it hidden from me, which ensures that all of my reactions are my genuine gut reactions to hearing the story for the very first time. I don't know what's about to happen. You guys don't know what's about to happen, and even Rich doesn't know what's about to happen because these stories always take us down wacky and wild paths, and I'm ready to get started. Where are we heading to? Now, you teased earlier that something's happening.
Yeah.
There's like there's like a first or something. What?
Right. We'll get to it in just a little bit. But you might have noticed that Mikey is full of the Christmas holiday cheer.
I am. Happy holidays.
He's got the Christmas hat, the Christmas reindeers. Me coming from Dallas, I'm not really feeling it. I guess you could say I'm a little bit of a Grinch right now.
Yes.
Well, it's appropriate for the odd news because I have Grinchy stories to tell you.
Oh, okay.
We have some Grinchy events.
Okay, this is fun.
And this first one is in Michigan.
Okay. We don't really go to Michigan that often.
No, but this happened at an office work Christmas party that happened at a local bar at the Traverse City Hotel in Michigan. Cops were called when a man that was dressed as the Grinch and a fellow coworker dressed as a reindeer got into a physical fist fight outside of the hotel.
Oh, now you fucked up. You have fucked up now.
So full-blown Grinch costume, full-blown reindeer costume, they're fist fighting outside of this hotel bar.
That's amazing.
Who's going to win the battle between the Grinch and
in
the
this
reindeer?
corner we have the Grinch who stole Christmas. And in this corner we have Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. Ding, ding, ding.
Yeah, good luck. I want a clean fight.
That's like a wild Mortal Kombat matchup.
Yeah.
Like who do you got, Rich? What's the line on this?
Yeah, I know.
Do you got Grinch or reindeer?
Yeah, I don't think the Grinch is really that athletic, is he?
It's like, here's the thing, like the Grinch has got kind of like that pudge, right?
Yeah.
It'd be
he
like
can't really move around.
It'd be like a green version of me.
I think the reindeer, I'd have to favor the reindeer.
The reindeer's got 4 legs. It's mobile.
Yeah.
It's got antlers. It's going to gore you. It's got the nose, the red nose. I'm assuming it's Rudolph. It's going to blind you like a flashbang. You know? Reindeer's got it all day.
There you go.
That's the Grinch.
Whoever's got the scream like that is definitely formidable.
I got reindeer all day, every day in this fight.
I would say, I'd say Rudolph is the favorite.
They're like a what? Like a 7-8 point favorite here.
Yeah, I can't imagine the Grinch. Yeah.
What's the Grinch got?
Yeah.
What is his main attack?
Yeah.
Like in terms of like overall offensive power, what was he gonna do? He's gonna like fuzzy finger you to death?
Yeah, that weird finger thing.
Like the Jim Carrey weird like feather finger things?
Yeah. Or can he swing the belly pouch around? I don't know. Can that be an attack?
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
I'm gonna fucking kill you, motherfucker, old style.
So this was a local oil and gas equipment company's holiday party.
Okay.
This was in the main lobby, and the fight spilled out. Wow.
Oh, so it started inside.
Started in the bar, went to the lobby, and then spilled outside.
Yikes.
The man in the green Grinch outfit kept yelling.
Okay.
So he's the vocal one, apparently, not the reindeer.
Right.
So maybe he's the screamer.
Yeah.
He's full blown going at it.
Powering up his special attack.
Yep. According to the police report, the Grinch actually was able to get on top of the reindeer and punched him significantly, causing severe redness in his eyes
and his nose
and breaking his watch. Damn. No, not in the nose, to the eye. He has a Rudolph the Red-Eyed Reindeer. He had a really
sounds
rough
like Rudolph
night.
It sounds like he has a drug problem. Rudolph the Red-Eyed Reindeer.
He had a rough night. Went to the employee Christmas party. Didn't have a good time.
Got into a fist fight. All of the other party goers punched and slapped him around.
The Grinch came forward and tackled him right to the ground.
Then one foggy Christmas. No. I'm just... I'm just
what
amazed.
What a holiday spirit we've got here.
I love that new jingle. That new jingle jam over there.
Yeah, jingle jam.
Jingle jam.
That's what we're calling Christmas songs from now on.
Jingle jam.
The jingle jams.
I like it. I'm just surprised that the Grinch ended up on top.
Yeah.
Literally.
Yeah, I did not think the Grinch was going to do that.
That's like a big. I mean, what a. What do you call it?
Twist.
A twist. Yeah. Underdog victory over here.
Yep. So the Grinch was actually 30-year-old Tucker Lee Davis.
What?
Yeah.
It wasn't actually the Grinch?
Nope.
Oh, my God.
Cops noted that he was, quote, drunk and angry.
Okay.
And was the main aggressor.
As the Grinch is.
He also apparently used a grappling-style wrestling move.
What? Okay.
So he really went to town on this reindeer, this poor reindeer guy. He's done.
So wait, the Grinch was the aggressor. What did the reindeer do?
Yeah,
the reindeer was just there.
Yeah, I think he was just drunk and just...
The Grinch just gets like drunk and belligerent, and the reindeer was just in his way.
Yeah.
Oh, I feel bad for that guy.
Unfortunately, the cops did not like this call at all. Davis has been charged with assault and battery.
Yikes.
Ooh.
Not good.
So that might be some serious charges coming your way. That's not. It might be a misdemeanor, but I don't know. That sounds serious.
Oof.
Assault and battery.
Yeah, not good.
Yeah. So there you go, our first story there. But it just this is the odd news.
Right.
We got to have Florida.
Of course.
It's Christmas. You got to go home back to Florida. So why not? Florida time.
Now, who is this guy in Florida?
It's Florida, and they're crazy.
All right. And for this one, we're going to talk about 22-year-old Alexander Gill of Avon Park, Florida.
Okay.
He is on the naughty list in this news story, as the man went to Universal Orlando Resort and tried to steal merchandise items with a Grinch blanket. So he's literally trying to be a real-life Grinch.
He's an actual Grinch.
Yep. But what makes this story unique, and what may be the first time that has ever happened here on the Crispy Noodle podcast, and I'm very, very shocked and appalled at this story, is the fact that, before I do that, I just realized I'm building up too much. First off, I got to give the sausage shout out. This was sent in by a listener by the name of Scott. So thank you, Scott.
Great Scott.
So thank you for that, Scott. You get your unique sound clip.
Great Scott.
So there you go. And sausage.
Sausage.
Nice.
Great Scott.
Great sausage.
Great Scott sausage.
There you go. Fantastic. So thank you for that, listener Scott. But what makes this a first, and what makes me kind of sick to my stomach and appalled, is that listener Scott says that the perp that they have a mugshot of resembles me.
What?
So let's go to the mugshot here.
Oh, wow.
This might be an alternate universe me. To the right.
Are both? No, one of those shots is you.
To the left is the mugshot of the perp, and to the right is my picture in college.
Wow.
I think
if you had grown out your hair a bit.
I think an alternate version of me went to Florida.
Like, the timeline split. You had your own BioShock Infinite.
Yes, I did.
To circle back to earlier in the show, like, something happened. And, like maybe you didn't graduate, and you're like, forget it, I'm going to Florida.
Yes,
and
screw it.
And you become Florida Grinch. And then this is the one timeline. In that other time, that other lighthouse, you're Florida Grinch.
Yeah, constants and variables. In this,
there's always a man, and there's always a lighthouse, and there's always a Grinch, and there's always a Florida.
Yeah, in this situation,
wow.
I went to Florida, so it's.
He does. He does.
It's very eerie.
Yeah,
I'm quite appalled by this.
His hair's a little bit like, maybe it's just like the picture that you have, but his hair's a little bit like more blonde and longer, but the resemblance is there.
Yeah, I always never liked the hair flowing off of the ear.
Right.
That was to me my sign that I always needed a haircut was when the hair was starting to go over the ear.
Right.
That bothered me.
When your golden locks got too long.
Yeah. So I would always get a haircut then. But yeah, I kept it long and messy in college, and that was very startling. I did not know where to go with this. Like,
are you sure that isn't just you? Like, maybe, like, I don't know.
I don't know. Did I have a clone of me and I didn't realize this in college?
Somebody stole your blood and cloned you.
Yes.
This is like a long lost twin or something. I don't know.
Yeah. This is very disturbing.
It's very disturbing.
Yeah. So this is the first here on the Crisp Noodle podcast that one of the perpetrators looks like one of us.
He took your Scroogey Grinchness and like turned it up to 11. He became the actual. Like right now, you're just like sub Grinch.
Yeah.
Like, he went full Grinch.
He went full blown. Yeah.
That's what happens. That Rich, if you have any less holiday cheer, that's you.
If I have to go to Dallas again, yeah, that's what's like.
If you go to Dallas again, you become that guy.
If I go to Dallas again, I have to fly to Florida, and then that's what happens.
Don't send him to Dallas again, people. Don't do it.
So yeah, he used this man. He used a Grinch blanket to hide the items that he stole.
Okay.
He.
Don't you think people would suspect the fact that he had a bulging blanket filled with stuff?
Yeah. He tried to get away with over 40 items.
That's a lot of stuff.
Totaling $780, according to the police affidavit.
Okay. He doesn't really know how to pick like expensive items.
Well, I guess you're limited to what he can fit in the blanket.
I guess. Get a bigger blanket.
Duh.
Hey, if you're going to go stealing stuff, make it worth your while. $780. I'm sure that the bail was more than that.
Yeah, come on. You represent me now. You look like me. You represent me.
That's right.
Yeah, the loss prevention officer in the store spotted Gil trying to steal the items and
walking
confronted
away
him
with a literal sack of things.
Yes, like the Grinch.
What did this guy think was going to happen? Like, if they can't physically see it, they won't suspect anything?
Yeah. He was confronted, and then cops were called, and he was arrested. Boy, this man's very bright because he's pleading not guilty.
Of course.
He's going to fight this case. So good luck, Mr. Alexander Gill.
His excuse is going to be something stupid like the movie told him to do it.
What, the movie? The Grinch?
The Grinch, yeah.
Oh, the actual Grinch told him to do it.
I don't know. Or like God said that he needed to steal the gifts. Or the whatever where did he steal? I don't even know. Where did he steal?
Just items in
just
the
items, just stuff.
Hollywood in the Universal Orlando. Was it Universal?
Universal Studios.
I already forgot. Universal Orlando store.
Okay.
So all those Universal movies.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, he didn't even go after like Disney, Star Wars.
Yeah, go like after one of the I don't know. What movie did you steal from? The Hulk?
No, that would be Marvel.
No, the Hulk is NBC Universal.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the actual Hulk movie, yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, Hulk in the MCU without getting... Oh, my God, this is so obnoxious. NBC Universal owns the Hulk movie. That's why Hulk can't have his own solo film in the MCU.
Oh.
It's weird.
Whoops.
Anyway, this guy is dumb.
Yeah.
He should have gone after Disney.
All right.
If you're in Orlando... Right?
Yeah, isn't it right there? I don't know Florida.
Yeah.
I only went to Tallahassee. That was my only experience.
I think Orlando is just Disney World, Universal, and is SeaWorld there?
Yeah, go steal Shamu while you're down there.
That definitely won't fit in the blanket.
Put him in a big.
I might be wrong about that one, but
yeah, put him in a big blanket. Good luck.
Just wrap him up in a blanket.
Yeah, good luck. We'll see how that flies.
Oh my God.
But there you go. Yeah, that is the two Grinch stories I have, but it is very eerie that this one guy looks like me from college. So
there is definitely a resemblance there.
Yeah, I think that might be I think that's the first. I don't think we've ever had a perp that looked like one of us.
No, not to my knowledge, no.
So
that's quite alarming.
Yeah.
I'm scared for when I'm going to get one that looks like me because my guy's going to be just awful. Like your guy was like, he was bad. My guy's going to be like, oh, he murdered 7 people. I don't know. I just feel like I'm gonna get the bad guy.
Well, then that would just be true crime. I don't think I would report him in the odd news.
That's true. That's not odd news.
Yeah, like that.
That's like a Netflix documentary.
That's Dateline.
Oh.
All right, maybe not that bad.
I guess you could say you had yourself a man-witch. Yeah. Ooh.
Yeah, that would be your Dateline episode.
Yeah.
Tonight on Dateline.
I like true crime. I probably would be like, ooh, yeah.
Yeah, ooh.
Oh.
All right, and there you go. That's what I have for you this week in the non-fortune cookie odd news. A first.
Yeah. Like a weird alternate reality twin doppelganger thing going on.
The multiverse is splitting.
It's all Spider-Man's fault.
Yeah, God damn it, Spider-Man. It's all his fault ever since he did the movie.
Stupid Spider-Man splitting the multiverse.
All these weird things have been happening.
Wait, did he break it or did Loki break it? Or did both of them break it?
They both broke it at the same time.
Those bastards.
Yeah, son of a bitch. That's what I'm going with. But there you go. That is our last segment, which means we got to start wrapping this up. Mikey is restoring the holiday spirit with
the antlers back on
with his headset.
Nobody can see it, but I threw the hat and it landed perfectly on the chair.
Yeah, I don't have the camera angle wide enough.
That was talent.
You didn't tell me you were going to do that.
I didn't know.
Bah humbug.
Happy holidays.
Happy holidays. Merry
happy
Christmas.
Bah humbug.
And happy Bah humbug. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. If you like what you heard, make sure you go to our website, thecrispynoodle.com. Make sure you follow us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. But most importantly, make sure you have a reliable way to get our episodes every week. You can do it on YouTube, where you just hit that subscribe button and you're good to go with that. On Facebook, where there's Facebook Watch, and you can watch our episodes right on Facebook. Or on Spotify. You can watch the episodes on Spotify, or if you put Spotify in the background, you can listen to us as a traditional audio podcast. Or if you drive a lot, put it on Spotify, and you can take us on the go with Android Auto or Apple CarPlay. So make sure you follow us in one of those ways so you get the episode every week sent straight to you.
That's right. So many ways to check out the Crispy Noodle Podcast. But if you need to get in touch with us individually to share your sports, entertainment, or odd news stories like Scott did today.
Yes, thank you, Scott.
Yeah. You can share those stories and get your very own sausage shout out by reaching us individually on Twitter. I'm at Mikey Costanzo, MikeyCostanzo.
And I am at Rich Liebig, RichLiebig. Find us on Twitter. Let us know what's happening. And if there's a topic you want us to talk about on a future show, let us know. And we'll take that under consideration. But for right now, I think we got to start wrapping it up and get ready for the holidays this weekend.
Oh, yeah.
Big Christmas Eve, Christmas Day dinners coming up. Hope you guys have a good Christmas. And we'll see you guys next week for the last show of 2022 already.
Oh, no.
Yeah, it's already time.
Wow.
But for now, we'll wrap it up. This has been the Crispy Noodle Podcast. Let us be the Crispy Noodle in your vegetarian salad of life and boring news. We'll see you guys next week.
See you guys.
Later. Bye-bye, all you fine peoples. Good night.
Some of us have great stories, pretty stories that take place at lakes with boats and friends and noodle salad. A lot of people, that's their story. Good times, noodle salad.
Great Scott!